York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from the Nick of Time Show. Here to give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And guess what? We busting those shots because the Knicks stopped the skid and we beat those Rockets 109-94. Yes, we did. Randle gave you 31 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. Jalen Brunson gives you 30 points and 7 assists with 3 rebounds. Josh Hart gives you a double with 10 points and 14 rebounds. OG chips in with 15 and 5, and Hartenstein gives you 11 rebounds and 5 assists with 7 points. The Knicks win the rebounding battle 60-44, hold the Rockets to just 26% from 3 and 41% from the field, and got us 12 points off of turnovers. And the Knicks beat the Rockets for the 8th straight time, spanning multiple seasons, and we're going to talk about it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Most of all, we're going to talk about this win because we needed this win after what happened a few days ago. I don't know, I missed that. I missed the losses. I'm glad I missed the losses. I was somewhere with some sun. I caught some secondhand embarrassment, madness, looking at my phone, looking at the score because I couldn't even watch the games. My girl was making fun of me because I'm watching like the score. I'm watching the score go down, and I'm watching the Knicks beat the Magic. I'm like, yes, we're gonna win this one. And I'm watching the score go in reverse, and I'm just like, what's happening right now? But whatever. We're here to talk about a Knicks, so let's get to it. All right. So, this was supposed to be a defensive battle. Both of these teams are defensive teams. All right, that's just what they are. Rockets are 8th in defense. And the Knicks are, I think, top 10 in defense. So this was going to be a defensive battle. But I figured the Knicks was going to win this because we have a little bit more firepower than they do, and we have a guy called Jalen Brunson. So I expected to win this game, which we did. But I want to get your thoughts on it, Ryan G. What do you think about today's win?
It was definitely a tough fought victory for the most part. The Knicks began to pull away in the fourth quarter. Both teams, like you said, they're both strong defensive teams, and it was really tough for both teams to score, especially in the first half. They both locked down on both sides of the ball. I think in this game, what I would have liked more from the Knicks is to move the ball around more, because when teams are pretty good defensively and you play a lot of isolation one-on-one, that makes it tough for you to score. You have to include more ball movement to try to manufacture easier shots when teams are highly defensive like that. But overall, I think the Knicks played well. Brunson came back, dropped 30 plus, Randle dropped 30 plus. It seemed like he recovered from turning his ankle in the previous game against the Magic, and it was just basically a well-needed win. I think another issue I had was because I saw a play that they kind of ran. I don't think it was a set play. It was a play off the fly where Hartenstein had the ball at like the top of the key. It was in the fourth quarter, and he kind of like motioned to Josh Hart to cut to the basket, and OG was there as well. And OG acted like he was about to set a screen, and Josh Hart pretty much just did a back cut to the basket, and Hartenstein was able to find it for an easy layup. And I don't know why the Knicks don't incorporate those kind of plays more into their offense, especially when they're going against teams that play tough defense like the Rockets. But overall, a win is a win. The Knicks started to pull away in the fourth quarter, and it was a win that they definitely needed.
Yeah, I feel like he gets more time to playmate with the second unit. He's starting to realize that the coach he's been playing, shout out to Fred Katz who pointed this out, the coach has been playing Hartenstein for the entire second half. I think because he just likes the way Hartenstein plays that second unit, and he's low-key losing some faith in Precious Achiuwa as well. So he just gets more time to playmake over there. And there was a time where I felt like coach was playmaking with Hartenstein with the first unit, but it seemed like he's gone away from that, at least from this game. But you know what? It worked today with that second unit, and it came away with a win. Lee, what are you thinking of the game?
Good is the passive that obeys reason. Evil is the active sprinting from energy. That's a line from William Blake's The Marriage of Heaven and Hell, which is about the duality of a lot of things, most importantly, the duality of man. And that's how I feel about Julius Randle. He gave me a lot of things. I was like, hot damn, my guy is unstoppable. He really is the second best power forward in the NBA, particularly in the second half when he was a little bit more active on the pass, getting guys involved, and had a little bit better effort in second half defensively than he did the first. But that damn first half, especially with complaining on the calls instead of getting back in position, there were some really awful highlights. I can't remember who it was in the Orlando Magic game of Randle missing a shot, missing a free throw, and missing a call foul on him. And the effort going back, he was like not even jogging. He was walking and then people watching. You saw that in the first half today as well. But then he turned around in a second and really asserted himself in a game where I thought he should, because Houston is coached by a defensive beast in Ime Udoka, and they are very good at limiting points off of turnovers, points transitions. And I thought Randle did a really good job of getting the Knicks downhill and passing it in the second half and getting other guys involved, and also dominating when he needs to dominate. It didn't matter who they put on him. He was able to outrun Sengun. He was able to box up and beast out Jeff Green. So it was a great Randle game, but it was a tale of two Randles. And I've resigned myself to just understand this is who this man is. Kind of like myself. Sometimes you love me, sometimes you hate me. But I Julius Randle. So I am going to focus on what I love while also critiquing what I hate. Also, great to have you back, Jay. It's great to have the leader back on with the crew. Ryan G did a great job while you were gone, holding down the fort. I want to give my man my props and his flowers. Great job, Ryan.
Yeah, appreciate the crew and Ryan G for holding down the fort. I'll be getting random text messages out of state, so I'll get a bunch of text messages at once, and I see Ryan G going, "Who's available?" And then I was like, "Oh, it's just like literally, it's like yeah, like go ahead, Ryan G, get the troops together, man." I was like, but yeah, we love you. We love you here, Lee. Sometimes good, sometimes you love us, sometimes you don't. We always love you here, Lee. All right, don't worry. But yo, this Rockets team is nothing to play with. All right, there's nothing. I mean, they're a 500 team. They're a decent team, but they don't turn the ball over. They're 7th in the league in turnovers, so they don't make a lot of mistakes. They're well coached. They rebound the ball well. They play defense. They really don't beat themselves like the old Rocket teams from last year. You have to beat them. You just have to outplay them offensively. They don't always get it right offensively because they don't always have the horses, but they're not going to make mistakes. So you got to give them credit. The Knicks, to me, that third quarter was essential because even though they don't turn the ball over a lot, I felt like our defense turned up in that third quarter. Like Lee said, you saw Randle start to play some defense. You saw OG Anunoby stop Segun one-on-one. I was like, what? What was the defense? The block and Hartenstein came in and helped, and it was a fast break. And I know everybody hates Josh Hart right now, but Josh Hart is good for one thing: getting those rebounds and getting the hell down the floor. The Knicks are 27th in pace, and when we play, the pace picks up when he's in the game. He went down the floor, passed to Julius Randle, who did some behind the back touch pass to OG, who slammed the ball for an and one. I was like, let's go. Like, that third quarter is what really got us ahead and into that game. And then you start to see Jalen Brunson, who scored 30 plus points again, hit some big shots, step back threes, some nice passes to the corner for OG on both sides of the corner. Total team effort today. Great win for this team. But real good points on Julius Randle, man. Good points on Julius Randle about the effort and what we saw from the first half to the second half, particularly the turnovers. The turnovers and the offensive fouls. Like, I feel like if the turnovers from Julius Randle in particular on the offensive side of the ball was killing the momentum of our offense in general. 3 offensive fouls in that first half. And also, you know what? You got to give the Rockets credit. We are the king of corner threes. OG was not getting wide open looks in that first half. He was not. DiVincenzo, he can hit some threes in tight spots. He wasn't hitting them today. I knew he was gonna win. I knew he was gonna win this game though. I knew at some point we was gonna get some threes going, and we did it, and we ended up winning the game. At least I feel like you wanted to say something.
Yes, I thought the Rockets did a really good job of doubling at the right time in the first half with Randle too. They waited until we got in the half court and he was calling for the ball, and they would send a double, which would basically force them to have to use up the shot clock and try to reset and find a different option to get the ball to. In the second half, Randle caught the ball later down in stride and made quicker decisions, which negated their ability to double team him. So I was very happy with Randle adjusting himself, not just his play, but also his attitude about how he was being officiated. Because, I mean, he's a big guy. When he goes in the lane, it's likely that there could be an offensive foul called because of how big he is.
Yeah.
It's hard to officiate Chat. It can be hard to officiate Randle. Randle is the top 3 physical player in the NBA. So I'm not surprised that he gets offensive calls on him. But when that affects how you exert effort in a following sequence, that's where myself and many Knicks fans get pissed off. I just put in the chat. JLS is Brunson. I'm Randall. Ryan is OG. Ebony's Mitch. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. I'm glad we don't have a Tibbs. That would be awesome.
Damn. On his birthday, Lee. On his birthday.
Going shots on his birthday.
Going shots on his birthday.
Prince is Leon Rose. Let's not forget. Prince is Leon Rose.
Prince is Leon Rose.
Behind the scenes.
Prince do be on the trade machine every day.
Jonathan Kaminga. He was Jonathan Kaminga.
Prince definitely on the trade machine every single day. Oh man, but I agree with you. I want to address some other things to look out for. The minutes are interesting. The minutes are interesting moving forward. We traded for OG Anunoby to be that guy, that defensive stopgap, and he's just as advertised. You put it on a guy, you don't hear from him for like a 5-6 minute stretch, whoever he's guarding. Been consistent since he's been here. That's what he's done, and he's hitting that corner 3. And we know he's very important, and also the coach is very aware how important he is, because I didn't watch the games from St. Kitts, but I saw the minutes. I saw the minutes, and one of those things that make me go, OG Anunoby, bro, 43 minutes for OG. I think when I was away, I saw a 41-minute game from OG. Holy cow, like, I know he's important to his team. I'm scared. I feel like we need to trade for another OG backup to give this man some rest, because 43 minutes, he's Tom's essentially saying he's the most important man on the team. Essentially. Because he's playing more minutes than anybody else. He's playing more minutes than Brunson. All right? 36. And when you're looking at Isaiah Hartenstein, right now, it might be the second most important player on this team. Because I wasn't watching, like, from the Magic game. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did Hartenstein get in foul trouble in the Magic game? Hartenstein is depended on to help the second unit make plays. So if he gets into foul trouble, I wasn't watching the Magic game. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet because I landed last night, do a bunch of stuff, and I got here today. But I'm pretty sure if I had to bet money, that had an effect on how the second unit was able to not score versus the Magic. And this is why Tibbs elects to play this man the entire second half of games. Just before that backdoor play that you talked about earlier, Ryan G, where he gave it to Josh Hart for easy. Like, that's what he does. He opens up the floor. He makes things easier for us. We need a backup center, man. Precious is losing. We losing faith in Precious. He's losing faith in Precious. Sims, I guess those 9 games when Sims started, he's not going back to him. I guess, I don't know, because maybe you think throw Sims back in with that second unit if if you're losing faith in Precious, but he's not even going back to Sims. So I'm not sure what's happening. But those 2 minutes, 40 and 43, I'm looking at that like big orange alert signals. Warning, warning. Like we might have to address that somehow. Right. Yeah. At least, but he might be game like like game 72. You know what I mean? Like Mitch might be back game 72. We are at game 40. We gonna need somebody for about about like what? I'm not a mathematician now. It's about 30 games. Yeah, we might need somebody for about 30 games. Can't They said can't hear Lee, can't hear Ryan. That's
Wait, we just.
it just happened in the middle of the show. Y'all can't hear Lee, can't hear Ryan.
Oh wow.
It just happened in the middle of the show. It just stopped. That's weird.
Yeah, like they're
No,
saying it now.
Shoquan said can't hear none of y'all.
Uh, what happened?
Yeah, they said they can only hear you, Jay.
Say some. Say something, Ryan.
Testing, testing.
Okay, I think I see the levels now. Do you hear them now?
Yeah, they
No, can
said
y'all
you
hear
can
me
hear
too?
now.
Can you hear me?
If they can hear Ryan, they should be able to hear you. That
Both
was
are back
that
now.
was very weird.
Okay, say both are back now. So we're all back.
We're all okay. That was very weird. 'Cause when I looked, I saw the levels for you guys just disappeared, and then it just came back out of nowhere. I don't know what
The
happened.
haters are hacking.
Computers be puting sometime. I don't know. Like it could be haters hacking too. Who knows? Who knows?
So wait, hold up. Do we have to make our points again?
Yeah, yeah. Say we repeat that. Repeat that. Lee was talking about he wasn't as worried about Mitch. Go ahead, Lee.
Yeah, I'm not as worried about the spike in minutes between Hartenstein and OG because when Mitch gets back, you know he will at the earliest end of the season, maybe in the playoffs. But Hartenstein will be able to go back to being a full-time facilitator with the bench, and OG can sit and allow Mitch to be the anchor of a defense and clean up a lot of those blown assignments or switches or whatever when you have a guy in the lane if to defend the rim. So at least at some point, you know that'll be mitigated. Unlike Kimba, Alfred Payton, Albert Burks, when I was like, when the hell is this going to be fixed? And who the hell we don't get? We have that guy. He's just injured right now.
Right.
Yeah, and basically all I said was it also depends on who the Knicks bring in as well, and it's before the trade deadline if they do make a move. Because if you bring in another facilitator, that lessens Hardenstein's that lessens the Knicks' reliance on Hardenstein to play with that second unit to facilitate. So that might lessen his minutes as well. And I was just piggybacking off the fact that with Mitch coming back also that's gonna lower their minutes as well, and it's not going to be something where the Knicks are going to be overly concerned for a long period of time.
Yeah, and what I was saying was it's true that we'll be fine once Mitch comes back, but Mitch presumably will not be coming back until about what game 71? So we still about 30 more games or so where we're going to need some center help. So I can still see the Knicks trying to scrape up some center help if they're just not really keen on Precious, because Precious minutes are dwindling. He's at 6 minutes now. It's looking like the coach has lost faith in Precious. I'm gonna hold you. That's what it looks like. And
I know maybe JLS, I wish Evian was here, but it might just be my naivety or that I didn't play the game of basketball, so I might not be seeing what he's missing from a general standpoint. But have you guys noticed like him being awful? Well, I feel like he has decent timing and tendencies on the defensive end. Offensively, he cuts a lot too. I like his activity off ball. He gets around the basket, but has there been anything egregious that either of y'all have noticed that would demand his minutes to be cut the way they have?
With Precious?
Yeah. I wouldn't say he's been great or even good, but I wouldn't say that he's been deserving of the harsh minute reduction from game to game by Tibbs. I think he's been okay for the most part as an undersized 5.
I think the fact that he's undersized 5 is probably the biggest issue. When you're in general, and well, for Tibbs especially, Tibbs doesn't like to play undersized guys in general, period. But when you're a center and you're 6'8", you even have a higher mountain to climb. And for Precious, if you're that small, I feel like you're gonna have to give something more on the offensive end if you're going to be that small, because defensively you're going to have to battle extra hard to battle those traditional 5 sizes. For me, when I see him do his best is when he's switching and he's guarding other guys. But if he has to guard 5s, he gets into it, and he's a little bit overpowered a lot of the times. So it's not that he's doing terrible. It's just that, I don't know. He's not giving you the big rebounds. He's not intimidating anybody. Tibbs likes to have an intimidator down there. He doesn't really. So his thing is just more like positional defense on perimeter more than being that 5 that intimidates penetrators like Tibbs likes. That's kind of what I've seen anyway.
Great. That's a great explanation. That's what I was looking for. I just checked his stats. He's shooting 20% from 3 since arriving in New York.
Yeah. So
Hasn't taken many.
yeah. So it's like the threes aren't hitting, and he hasn't been spectacular anywhere. He's been spectacular to low. I mean, and to low in different spaces. So I don't know. Like, I don't know. Go back to Sims. That's how I see it. At least that's how I see it. Just go back to Sims for anything. Try him out. See if Sims do it. At some point, Sims was good for us with the second unit at least. Why not just try it out? Maybe you don't have to even look for a center if Sims can do something. I don't know. That's the way I see it. That's just the way I see it. But let's get to some Grimes talk. Unless you guys have anything else to say. No?
Nah, I think ready for the trade talk.
Yeah, let's get to it. Let's get ready for the trade talks. Let's go. I'm gonna go to this article. Hopefully the sound gets back to normal. And somebody asked a question about the buyout market with who said that? The buyout market with Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward?
Oh, hell no.
Nah.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good on both of them too.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I could see a Terry Rozier thing happening. I'm not even gonna hold you. I could see a scenario with Terry Rozier happening because he's in the 20 million range. And the third year isn't guaranteed, because remember we talked about the Terry Rozier contract earlier where he's getting 26 million. It's partially guaranteed. So I'm not sure what the conditions are for that third year, but it's partially guaranteed. So depending on the team, like what that partial is based on, it could be a good trade chip for somebody else because of the contract. Because he is giving you 23 points and he's a starting guard so far. Even though we might be looking to use him for a backup. I don't know. But that's something to keep an eye on. But let's get to it. Hopefully, I'm changing back to I'm changing back to this other format. Hopefully the sound is good. You guys let me know. Let's see. All right, let me check my. Let me see. Say something, Lee Ryan. You said bum bum bum. Wait. All right, I think I found the. Say something again.
Testing, 1 2 1 2.
All right, I found the issue. All right, there we go. All right, cool. All right, let's get to it. So Fred Katz dropped an article recently, and I'm going to get to it.
They say no sound.
Yeah, because I turned it on later. They should start to hear it. They should start to hear it soon.
Oh,
They're
all
a
right.
few seconds delay, so they should hear it pretty soon. Yeah, there we go. So Fred Katz wrote something about Quentin Grimes earlier from the Athletic. It says Knicks trade deadline objectives, Quentin Grimes' future, and a facilitator is needed. And I'm going to fast forward through some parts that I feel like are important. With nearly 3 weeks to go until the NBA deadline, the Knicks' priorities are taking shape. The goal, according to league sources familiar with the organization's thinking, is to add someone who could help the team today and also has a contract that will be attractive in a hypothetical trade for a star this upcoming summer. But acquiring a talented player takes giving up something good too. One name to watch in Quentin Grimes. Now, Lee and Ryan G and I were having a short discussion beforehand about that part in particular. Finding a contract for a star. So this is essentially Grimes might be flipped for a rental, is what it looks like. The Knicks are actively fielding offers for the former first-round pick, according to rival executives who have been in contact with the New York office. That's interesting too, because you really don't really hear a lot of times about the front office fielding calls. You usually hear teams are interested in this, but I haven't heard that the front office is interested. So it sounds like the Knicks are being the aggressors this trade deadline, where other trade lines, it kind of feels like we were just kind of seeing what's out there and putting out feelers. So the approach signals a change from only a year ago or two ago when the Knicks clutched onto Grimes in trade talks. The 23-year-old has fallen out of favor with head coach Tom Thibodeau of late, losing the starting shooting guard job to Dante DiVincenzo on December 8th and seeing his play time decrease from 30 minutes a game in 2022 to 2023 to 17 since moving to the second unit. Here is more about the Grimes, Knicks, and Jets' possible help, Evan Fournier, and more as of February 8th trade line. So yeah, that was interesting. And also what was interesting to me was some of the players. Oh yeah, but this part right here. After the Anunoby trade, Grimes is the sole young player with the Knicks could throw in a deadline deal. This is thus, if they traded Grimes, they would want on a contract they consider tradable. In return, a player with a salary preferably in the teens or low 20 millions. That would be attractive to a franchise dealing away a star in June or July, according to league sources. This part right here could also be a big reason why Emmanuel Quickley was shipped out. Because they're signing Emmanuel Quickley and they're saying, hey, we only want to keep you around if we can possibly keep you long term or possibly flip you for a star. If you're going past the low 20s, then other teams might not want you and we can't flip you for a star, so we're going to ship you somewhere else. That might be a big reason why Quickley was gone in the first place. The Knicks could pair Evan Fournier, who's an expiring $18.9 million contract, with Grimes to bring back a contract of that size. Some players who fit that description include Malcolm Brogdon, Jordan Clarkson, Colin Sexton, who we haven't really talked about here, Terry Rozier, Bruce Brown, who we haven't really talked about, TJ McConnell, and the Atlanta Hawks, Bogdan Bogdanovich. Yes, and the Cavaliers, Karis LeVert, which is keep him away from me. I'm sorry. Keep him. You can't help Donovan Mitchell. What you gonna do for us? Woo.
We need another Tim Hardaway Jr. too.
Oh, whoa, oh. And the Dallas Mavericks, Tim Hardaway Jr. I'm sorry.
Bruh.
Bruh. Dog, Tim Hardaway Jr. would hate us if we traded for him again. Just to trade him again in the summer. Yo, that dude already hates us. You see, every time he plays us, he's dropping 40. Like that, he would hate us. Gentlemen, thoughts on this. My thought immediately goes to Quentin Grimes, and we better not trade him for a bench player. That's my first thought. But what are your thoughts?
Well, I'll be a bit, I guess, reasoned on this. My preference would be to include Grimes in a trade for a star. But at the same time, I understand the Knicks thinking behind it, because once the Knicks decided to trade RJ Barrett and quickly to bring OG here, it's clear that the Knicks' direction is we're trying to win. And right there, that's a shift from the front office going from I'm here to develop these young players on our roster to now we're trying to acquire players so we can actually challenge for a championship in the future. So if Grimes could be used as a piece to where you can get a piece that can help the team now, and then that piece ends up being flipped for the eventual star that the Knicks are going to go after, I can understand their reasoning as to why they're considering it. As a fan, do I want Grimes to go in a trade for a guy that's going to be here for a short period of time to be flipped? No, but I understand their reasoning, because the Knicks have chose a direction, and the direction they chose is win now. So they're going to do whatever it is within their power to build a team that is strong enough to compete for a title. So it's one of those things where it's like you hope that the front office doesn't screw it up. If they do trade Grimes for that player that's going to be here temporarily, they better make sure 100% that that's the play that's going to help the team now, and 100% that that player can be flipped for that star in the future. So, I mean, I'm not for trading Grimes for a bench player, but I understand it, though, based on the direction that the front office has shown they're going at the moment.
It feels like the Knicks are building around Tom Thibodeau as much as they're building around Jalen Brunson. I think it's very obvious to me, which is why I haven't went back to fire Tibbs, even though he is infuriating me at certain points this season. It is not just because I'm waiting for the playoffs, but also it is clear that the Knicks are bringing in players for the long haul for Tibbs to coach, guys that fit his system, his acumen, and his preference for on-ball defense, rebounding, offensive rebounding, ball movement. So I don't think all these moves made sense to me, and I'm no longer going to fight the inevitable. I think Quentin Grimes will not be on this roster by the start of next year. I think it's guaranteed to happen. I agree with Jay. What is he being traded for? If they're going to trade him, and even if it's a rental or if it's a piece they end up holding on to because no star becomes available this summer, which is also a very big possibility, I would hope it's someone who makes us finals bound this year, similar to Miami Heat. Like, not necessarily a team that can win it all or beat Denver. I'm not going to go that balls out, but a team who can go there and compete, can eliminate in 5 or 6 games because you added that guy to your roster. And when I look at that list, I have it pulled up on my computer too. I think that list, I think Fred Katz is so plugged in. These are names that you can really depend on. And he also is very cool. These are a lot of names that we've talked about too, which means we, for the most part, are on the same page, hearing the same things in the interwebs. When I look on this list and I think about additional ball handling and playmaking, and also someone who we really need a third scorer as well. OG is the 4th, Brunson 1, Randle 2. The guys on this list that jump out to me is Jordan Clarkson and Colin Sexton. Those 2 guys, I think, are under contract also. So the They won't expire and then can't be used in summer. You had to get someone who had additional year on their contract in order to be flipped. Otherwise, they can walk for nothing. So those two guys, Jordan Clarkson is expiring, but I think he is someone that we could end up retaining and not using a substitute trade. And I'm okay with Grimes being traded for Jordan Clarkson because Clarkson's a bucket. He's someone who can erupt for 30. I think he can average 25 in a playoff series if we need him to. And Colin Sexton off the bench, I like what he's done in Utah. He's shown ability to play with other on-ball players. I think he's played better defense this season, and he seems more. I think he likes being in Utah in a different environment than he was in Cleveland, where he was never fully trusted to run the team. He's being trusted in Utah now. So those are two guys that really pop out to me. But so far, I'm be honest, I haven't loved everything Leon Rose has done, but I trust him, and that goes a long way in how I view these type of rumors and how I think about the future.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up. I made graphics about contracts too. I'm still on Malcolm Brogdon, 22 million, 2 seasons, definitely can be flipped by next season. Clarkson's contract you can see is 23 million first year. This team is this is definitely a tradable contract for sure.
Yeah.
A team will salivate over a $14 million contract. Teams will salivate over a $14 million contract. Which means that price, I'm wondering what the price would be. That Danny Ainge is probably going to dangle that one for a couple of picks if that contract is the way it is. But yeah, Rozier as well. Like I said, this is Rozier's contract, 21, 23. Third year, 26 million is a partial. Not sure what the stipulations are for this third year. The third year is a partial. So he, by all standards, can fit within that as well. So yeah, those are certain things to look out for. It's funny. Go ahead.
I got a question for both of y'all. I really want to hear how y'all answer this. That list that Fred Katz mentioned, who is not your favorite, not the best fit, but who is the best baller? Who's the best hooper, the best player on that list, and who's the worst?
Hooper? Well,
not fit, not your favorite, just who objectively, in your opinion, is the best player on that list, and who is the worst player on that list?
Yeah, I need the list pulled up for me again. I gotta look those players again.
Hold on. Before I'm gonna say that, like the whole we're getting Tom Thibodeau type players thing, Grimes is a Tom Thibodeau type player, which is why I don't understand. I understand because Fred Katz talked about how he doesn't like not to have size, which is why Josh Hart is playing so many minutes and Grimes is only getting 15 minutes a game. But Grimes did okay being undersized before. So for him to get 15 minutes a game now, after we trade away both RJ and your IQ, to me, is asinine to me. I don't understand it. I don't understand how this front office did everything we could to get some actual shooting and spacing. And he's like, you know what? I like only having one shooter next to Brunson and Randle. Let's just go OG and Josh Hart for 30 minutes. I'm like, it's driving me crazy right now. Like, I understand what Josh Hart does. He's a grab and go, fast break guy. But I was dreaming of having 2 shooters on each side of the corner. And I felt like I had it for like a week. And then he just like, nope, I don't want to do that. Let's do Josh Hart. Like, what? My God.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of tough, like pure hooper.
Oh yeah, so yeah, pure hooper.
Best player. Yeah, whatever synonym you want to use.
That's tough. The hoopers on this list, I could definitely say
Rozier is one of them.
Rozier is definitely one of them. Sexton is one of them. Yeah, Clarkson is one of them. And I might put Bogdanovich as one. I might put him in the hooper.
That's really tough.
The worst player to me is Karis LeVert. I think that one's pretty.
Yeah, Karis LeVert. I don't know. No, yeah.
No, I would say McConnell out of the ones listed there. For me, worse. Even though I'm not saying he's a scrub, but I'm just saying out of the players listed, like I'd probably want him the least.
Yeah.
Out of the ones that's listed.
I think him and LeVert are like tied for my least.
But I mean, damn. I mean, pure baller.
Even Tim can give you some buckets.
Yeah. But if you're talking like pure baller, like overall skill set,
When you say
probably.
ballers, I think bucket getters. That's what I think when you say ballers.
Yeah.
So when I think
Uh,
bucket getters,
it,
I think I'm
I think
aggressive.
Rozier.
I'm getting my buckets.
Yeah, I think Rozier.
So I
Pure
think
like pure
Rozier,
baller,
Collin, and
Rozier.
Clarkson are like the bucket getters. That's how I see it. And then I would say those four and Bogdan are the bucket getters.
Yeah, he's not my top choice to bring to the Knicks, but I think if you're talking about pure baller, probably Rozier for me, out of the ones listed.
Yeah. And then you have Malcolm, who's like, I'm a bucket getter, but I can create. I'm a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of, and I can play some defense. Like that's where I put it. He's not the pure baller, but he's not a slouch. He's gonna give you a
Yeah.
little bit of everything. But yeah, that's my answer. Well, I don't know what your answer is, Lee.
I think Bogdanovich or Clarkson is the best player on that list. I agree Rozier might be the most skilled, but his size, I think, makes it a little tougher for him to get a bucket as easily as Clarkson and Bogdanovich. Worst for me, at least Team TJ McConnell plays hard all the time. Levert doesn't even play hard.
Yeah, I agree. Felicia says they're building around Tibbs, so no Clarkson doesn't play defense. Is not a Tibbs player. I kind of agree with you, Felicia. Like,
Yeah.
it'll be hard. I don't see them going after him. I can definitely see about Malcolm though, for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say Brogdon is a Tibbs player for sure.
Yeah.
I think it makes the most sense for Tibbs. Yeah, he doesn't excite me at all, like whatsoever, his game, but
I mean, I'm not going to complain if Brogdon is brought in, but he's not really my top choice, though.
better than Bride.
Yeah.
McBride, man, McBride struggled today too. He struggled today and this is the thing about being a playmaker and not just being a spot up shooter. When you're just a spot up shooter, your minutes depend on whether you hit the shot or don't. And his defense is good as well, but it's like, you know what I don't like about this whole grime shopping thing? I think what I don't like is, okay, cool. Now you have McBride getting more minutes, but he's essentially being used as a spot up shooter. Maybe he'll grow into a bigger role next year. Who knows? But you're kind of using him as an undersized two guard while you have like an actual two guard. So unless like I need McBride to be a playmaker for this to really work. You know what I mean? But maybe it's just still the bridge year where he's learning, and next year he can be a playmaker. But I think that's one of the biggest things I don't like about moving Grimes right now, where he's like an underutilized two guard who should be getting more minutes than he's getting. It's weird to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Ryan G, I know you had something to say about the Dejounte Murray news, right? You know what? Before I even get to that, before I get to you, Ryan G, there was a development in the Dejounte Murray news. Hold on, and let me find that really quick. Because as you know, the Atlanta Hawks are shopping Dejounte Murray. The Hawks are not looking like they're in the playoff picture at all. For sure. It says shout out to Jason who kind of talked about this. Okay, I found this article. I found the article real quick. Let's get to it. This is why Yahoo reported last week that Miami and underachieving Atlanta Hawks had a preliminary conversation about guard Dejounte Murray, a 2022 All-Star and a 2018 All-NBA defensive selection. Neither Miami nor any team has offered the 2 first-round picks that the Hawks have requested. Things that make you go, no team has offered 2 first-round picks. Now you know the Hawks are going to want to recoup what they got for him, and it's funny. When I talked to Mike Scotto, and I was talking about the price. The Hawks got him for was it 2 firsts? Was it 2 firsts in a swap, right?
Yeah.
2 firsts, 1 swap, and pretty much a dead contract. So in my mind, I'm thinking that's what they got, and it hasn't worked out for you guys, and you are a losing team. Usually in that scenario, the price drops. You usually don't recruit exactly what you gave for an asset, especially if it doesn't work out. You might recoup it if you're a winning team and you want to trade it for like an all-star or something. So in my mind, I'm thinking if that's the price, the old price, 2 firsts, it might be lower now. In my mind, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Like you should, I don't know. You should give up 2 firsts, maybe a 1 first in the swap. I don't know. So, but the other thing is the Knicks can easily give them that, but they haven't. So that's something to keep an eye on. Because when I asked Scotto about how serious are they about getting someone like Dejounte, I guess what I was really asking is how serious is their offer? Because when the Knicks are serious, like they were about getting OG, they offered 3 firsts. That was their old offer. Their old offer was 3 firsts and RJ Barrett. They're not even offering 2 firsts in this scenario, if this is true. So they could just be playing hardball, waiting for the trade deadline, just so they don't outbid themselves. But let's keep an eye on that. Shoot, I don't even think if we can keep Grimes and just give up a first and Evan Fournier, I'll be happy with that. Shoot, I ain't even hold you. I wouldn't even hold you. I would definitely be okay with that. Even though I see how I still feel like our starting 2 guard spot with Dante DiVincenzo has been good for us. It's still hard to watch this team play basketball whenever Jalen Brunson sits down. So you're just weighing both of those things because it's bad. Like we need something. We need something. I don't know. How do you guys feel about what I said? Yeah, agree, disagree?
1,000% agree. I've been arguing with people on Twitter that Deuce McBride is not it. Nice kid, good kid. He's gotten better this year. 3-point shots improved, but we got him on a 3-year deal. There's no rush. We can continue to mold him, but right now he's a third string point guard. And my knock on him is his inability to play make. He doesn't make anyone else better. In fact, when the ball is in his hands, guys are almost worse because he doesn't find them when they're open, and he usually goes one-on-one and he just gets a shit slapped into his second row or takes a difficult shot around the rim. So we need a backup point guard. Leon, so happy to hear he's aggressive. I hope he continues to keep his foot on the pedal and he actually brings in somebody who I said can get us to the East Conference Finals or the Finals. I think we have the rest of the roster around it. We just need that backup playmaker / third option offensively.
Yeah, and I mean I pretty much said my thoughts about Dejounte Murray. Like he's pretty much my #1 target for the Knicks. Because he can allow Brunson to rest sometimes, and you can run him with the second unit and have him be the lead point guard, and you facilitate for that second unit and actually have somebody else on the team who can put up 20 points when needed. Behind Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson, you have that third guy that can also put up points as well when those guys are having off games.
Yeah.
And I believe that you can still stagger minutes with those two. You don't have to keep Dejounte Murray and Brunson out there all the time together. You can take out Dejounte early, put in Dante DiVincenzo to have him play with the first unit, and when you put in the second unit, you bring back Dejounte Murray. So I think it's workable. And then on top of that, if you bring him in and it doesn't work out, you can easily flip him because there's a lot of teams in this league that's looking for that lead point guard. So it's a piece where it's like, why not make the risk and go for him and see how it works out? If it doesn't work out, then you flip him. So yeah, but I agree with Lee. I like McBride. he has improved this game, he has improved his shooting, but the playmaking is not there. And every time Brunson's off the court and you have McBride running point guard, it's clear as day
It's
that
rough.
the offense it's difficult to score. And for the Knicks to get to that next level, they need somebody in that second unit that can actually score, get buckets, and get others involved.
Yeah. So it's like, even though it kind of might disrupt the flow of the first unit, because the first unit is working perfectly, or almost perfectly. Shoot, just the mere fact that the second unit is just so this is woof. It's hard. It might just be hard. It just might worth be doing that move just to save the second unit. God forbid Jalen Brunson stubs a toe. We're in trouble all over again. Ryan G, I know you had a question in the group chat. I would like for you to pose that question to us and the chat. Also, too, I forgot the Discord is open. Fritz isn't available. Shout out to Fritz. Because Fritz is running this show behind the scenes while I was in St. Kitts, so he's like, I need a night off. So understand. This is hard work, Fritz. Hard work. But the chat is definitely open as well if you guys want to talk. The Discord link is, let's see. I'm putting the Discord link in the chat right now. And Ryan G, I'm gonna have you pose the question that you asked a little bit earlier to our chat.
Yeah, so I've been reading around the rumor mill in the NBA, trade rumors and things of that nature, and apparently Atlanta wants to attach a contract to Murray. So basically what they're trying to say is Atlanta's not just interested in trading Murray. They want to attach a contract to Murray as well. And if Atlanta's wanting to do that, they're not going to get they're not going to get those 2 first-round picks. Like, let's be honest about it. They're not going to get the 2 first-round picks if they do that. So according to this article that I read, I forgot the source, my fault, but they said they either want to attach Capella's contract, Hunter's contract, or Bogdan's contract to Murray. So the question I pose is, hypothetically speaking, say the Knicks were to trade for Murray and take on one of those contracts, which player's contract would you take on? And here's the details. Capella, he becomes a free agent in 2025, and he's earning 22 mil next season. Hunter becomes a free agent in 2027, and he has a rising contract. 21 mil next season, 23 mil the following season, and 24 mil that last season. And then Bogdan has a club option after the 25-26 season with a descending contract. 18 mil, 17 mil, and 16 mil. So hypothetically speaking, if you were the Knicks and were to trade for Murray and take on one of those contracts, which is the contract that you would want to take on?
To me, that's an easy question. I'm taking Capella. I'm taking a Capella. What is 2 seasons?
Yeah, so basically after next season, he's going to be a free agent.
Yeah, after next season, he's a free agent. I feel like he can be flipped easily in the summer. He's only in 20 million range, just like Dejounte. We need backup center help. We need backup center help bad. Precious isn't cutting it. I think I would do Capella. Have him come off the bench versus Hartenstein until Mitch gets back, and then try to flip him in the summer.
Man, it's tough. Definitely not Hunter, because I don't care for his contract, and I don't know if he can be a high impact player with us. I don't know if he can stay in Tom Thibodeau's rotation. Bogdanovic, I've seen him be a dog. He was the second best player in that Eastern Conference Finals run for Atlanta a couple of years ago, the year they beat us in their first round. He knockdown shooter. I understand the logic behind J. Ellis going with Capella, but I'm going to go Bogdan. I think it's the best contract of a 3, and he would be a third best player, and our third best player would be a sniper. That is a huge luxury, and I'm assuming Grimes is going out, so having Bogdan come in to fill that role, I think he would be comfortable off the bench or as a starter. Him and Dante having that rotation, deadly come playoff time. So yeah, give me the European sniper for sure.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I agree with Lee. I probably would have to go with Bogdan as well, just for the simple fact that I do think Grimes would be gone in that trade, and Bogdan can come in and he could be that sniper that we need from deep. But it's kind of interesting though, because with Hunter, for me, it's like if I could trust Hunter to be healthy, I
Yeah.
think it's intriguing because he does fit the timeline of the team because he's 26 years old, so he's going to be right on time with everybody else. And he's a good three-point shooter. He's shooting 40% from three this season. He plays defense. He has size. So DeAndre Hunter is intriguing if you want to take that contract on, but the issue with
The
DeAndre
length.
Hunter is that he cannot stay healthy. So it's like to take on his 4-year contract
That's
and
too
you
much.
have no guarantee that he's going to be healthy those 4 years. That's the only thing that makes you turn off of Hunter's contract. But besides that, I mean, yeah, Bogdan sending contract. If you want to flip him for a star, you're able to flip him, and he's gonna provide great shooting from three, and he got that dog in him. Like I've seen him play a good amount of times, and he got some fire in him.
Yeah. I guess if Grimes is gone, it makes sense to go that route. Maybe I'm still thinking in delusional world where Grimes is still here because they're asking us to take on other contracts as well. Like if he asked me to take on other contracts, then it's like, why am I giving you assets and picks and all this other stuff? Like if you ask me, like usually when you're trying to get rid of contracts, you attach stuff to it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Which is why I guess my brain doesn't go to shipping Grimes out in those scenarios, I guess. But that's my thought process. If Grimes is gone, then I guess I can see doing it the other way, and then maybe trying to go for like uh Gafford from the Wizards or something. Try to pluck him from the Wizards in another move. That's not going to cost us anything because we have trade exceptions. We have trade exceptions. We have like two trade exceptions, don't we?
yeah, and the reason and just to throw something in right quick, the reason why I say hypothetical is because if the Knicks were to do that, they would have to give up a lot of assets, if especially if they want to keep some of their main pieces. Meaning that if the Knicks were to really pull this off, they would have to include probably a big asset, meaning Mitchell Robinson. And I'm not on board with that. So if the Knicks
Definitely
would
not.
actually pull this off, the Knicks would have to include a third team into the deal to take on that other Atlanta contract. So they don't have to give up much, and hopefully still get Dejounte Murray, coming to the Knicks, and then have that other Atlanta contract go to another team willing to take it on. That would be the dream in that scenario.
Yeah, like for we can give him cap relief. You know what I'm saying? We can give him
Yeah.
Pachulia. We can give him Pachulia, Malachi. I don't know when. I don't even know when they're freaking eligible for trades. I'm saying these names. I don't even know if we can trade them or not.
I don't know. I tried to trade machine. I think they cannot trade Achua or Flynn as of yet, just because they were recently acquired, I believe. I forgot the reasoning behind it, but I was messing around with the trade machine and they can't trade either one of those players. So at the moment, anyway, I don't know if they can before the trade deadline, but yeah, like the Knicks can easily like if they were to include a third team to take on that other Atlanta contract, they could probably just give away Fournier for cap relief. They don't really have to give up another piece, really. I mean, if the Knicks want to throw in somebody, then sure, but they could really just give up Fournier and then maybe a pick and then just bring in Dejounte Murray, have that third team take on that other Atlanta contract and have it work out that way.
Right.
But
And then we still have. I know we at least have a $5 million trade exception. So you have Fournier's 19 million. Then you have 5 million trade exception on top of that you can throw into match salaries, and you have a pick. And so I mean that's something. That's 20 something. What 20
Ryan,
24 million.
I don't need to be convinced for DeJounte Murray. I understand your vision, brother. I'm down. I'm down for it. This is not you saying this, but these rumor mills or people on Twitter who are insinuating that maybe it's a larger deal and Mitchell Robinson goes out. Mitchell Robinson being traded for DeJounte Murray to me is haram. Like if it's not a
yeah,
superstar, do not trade Mitchell Robinson. I am the captain and CEO of the iHeart Hive. Mitchell Robinson is better. Like overall impact is a more important player. He was our MVP for the first month and a half of the season, and I don't want short term memory loss to change that and for him to start suddenly become expendable. Not saying anyone here is suggesting that, or Leon is. I'm just reaffirming my love and appreciation for what Mitchell Robinson does for this team. And if you do trade him, it better be for a damn superstar, not a Dejounte Murray, Donovan Mitchell level player.
I think the Knicks know that, because I remember reading last week about the Knicks and Mitch Robinson, and it didn't seem like they were interested in trading him. Like, teams were fielding calls about him, and they were just kind of like, nah. So, at least for now, Mitch Robinson is safe in a Knicks uniform. Now, I cannot say, well, now you know what? I'm not even going to hold you. He's not stopping a big deal from happening, because we can all remember when Donovan Mitchell was available. The original trade was what, R.J. Barrett, Mitch Robinson, and some picks. So I think he'll still might be available for a trade later, but definitely not for now.
Yeah, I think a lot of people forget that before he got injured, he was pretty much in the running for Defensive Player of the Year with the way he was playing defense and grabbing those offensive boards and things of that nature. So a player like that, you have to hang on to, unless it's for a major player, like a major superstar player. You got to hold on to a player like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can easily see something being like Mitch and Dejounte and picks in the summer. I can.
That JL is talking about a superstar package right there.
No, that's what the Knicks are thinking. No, I feel like that's exactly what the Knicks are thinking.
Yo, if we give up Dejounte Murray and Mitchell Robinson in a deal, we better get freaking Giannis. Like, honestly.
No, I'm serious. Like, I can see
that,
the Knicks going, we'll give you Dejounte, we'll give you Mitch, and who knows who else we might. I don't know if you're gonna still go with the Bogdan. I can see. I feel like that's where the Knicks are going.
Listen, y'all. The Bucks and 76ers are one first-round exit away from blowing it all up. If either those, Milwaukee got bounced in the first round last year. They do back-to-back first-round bouncings. Giannis would be like, I'm out.
Giannis?
That'd be wild.
Giannis, this is the thing. Giannis signed a 4-year deal. He gave away all of his leverage like a dummy.
True.
You know who else gave up all his leverage? Dame, which is why he didn't have it in Miami. So it's not enough to, if he says he wants to come to the Knicks and all that stuff, like, the team is going to have to want to trade him there. You know what I mean? Like, so that he has to play extremely nice, and they don't have to trade him. So, because he signed a 4-year deal. So I'm just saying.
I gotta give a shout out to Most High, Monsa, Deshaun, Booker. Suns are a first round knockoff away from Booker, I think, saying he wants out as well.
That's for sure.
They have no ability to improve, none whatsoever.
That's for sure. That's a definitely team. I said Booker like 2 months ago, and somebody laughed at me. I'm just like, you just don't know.
JL is running. Is there a better backcourt partner in the NBA for Brunson than Devin Booker? I think Devin Booker is the perfect backcourt partner.
Probably not. That's probably the ideal.
Number one.
Yeah, Booker would fit in seamless. Yeah, he would fit in seamless.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Excellent off-ball player. Like, it would be.
Yeah. Off-ball guy turned into a point guard this year. So you can
catch and shoot,
and he can shoot. Yeah, that would definitely
be the perfect backcourt partner right there.
I wouldn't have no questions. Oh, he's too short. Oh, he can't make all. He can do all of that.
Yeah.
You know what that backcourt sounds like?
I already know what you're gonna say. The C word.
Clyde Frazier. Baby. That's a Rolls Royce backcourt right there.
Yeah, Brunson. Yeah, Brunson, Booker, the BB. Woo!
Man.
Yeah, I would say championship. Yeah. Like, if that happens, I would say championship coming.
That contract. Yeah. His contract is his contract was what, 60 million or 50 million a year? Yeah, his contract is no joke. But yeah, that's definitely a guy to keep an eye on, I'll definitely keep an eye on the Suns for the summer. For sure. All right. But we also have to keep an eye on the Raptors. Because we already know Masai be doing Masai things. He just how many picks did he get for Siakam? If you didn't know, the Knicks just traded
first rounders.
Yeah. Yeah. 3 first rounders. The Pacers the Raptors just traded Siakam to the Pacers for 3 first rounders. Which means the Raptors can definitely trade for a star. There's a few teams that can trade for stars. The OKC can trade. It's funny. I can see a scenario where the Suns offload KD to OKC and Booker to the Knicks. I can see it. And just get like, and they just have like 600 first round picks for like.
You know what's wild? I remember I listened to a podcast one time. I think it was JJ Redick with Paul George, and George was, or maybe it was George. I can't remember. And he was talking about the Pacers as an organization and their former ownership. And he said that they were never really about building a contender during his tenure there. They were just about building a team good enough to put butts in the seats, but never really go into the luxury tax or pay a high payroll because they didn't really care about having a contender. They just wanted to have a better than average product.
Damn.
And I thought about their history of transactions, and it all lines up. They always go for those marginal Marquise Daniels mid-2000 level moves. This Siakam trade might be the biggest trade acquisition of the history of that team. They haven't been around for very long, but I'm thinking about in my head, I'm going through like the Reggie Miller, Rich Smits, Jalen Rose, Mark Jackson era. And then before that, and I can't really think about a time period where they made a big swing. Maybe Mark Jackson might have been the biggest acquisition before that. But this Siakam move, getting a 2-time All-NBA in his prime, is very unprecedented for that franchise. And I thought it was worthy of point now.
Interestingly enough, though.
It's serious now. It seems serious.
Interestingly enough, he's gonna get maxed. Like, does that make them a chip team? I don't
know.
I'm still not sure about that.
I don't even think it's the best Pacer team in the last 20 years. That Jermaine O'Neal, Ron Artest was a contender, in my opinion, but from the eye test. But I think that it's the first move that they made to become a contender. Like, this was an all-in move on Siakam. I think it was a good move for them. And I think it shows they're trying to do their best to build around Paul George, around Halliburton, through moves, not through the draft. They built through Granger through the draft. They built through Paul George through the draft. Now they're saying, let's go out and get a guy. And they went out and got an All-NBA player. It was a good move for them. One of their biggest ever, if not the biggest.
Yeah. Oh, small hand clap for them.
Yeah,
He's still busting their ass, all right?
Yeah. I thought it was weird. No, I remember Paul George saying that they weren't really about winning. They were just about putting a decent product out.
Right.
Like, shame.
We still about busting their ass. I don't like how Halliburton was looking at Wally. I don't like it. I don't like how he's strutting around at Wally. Yo, I support Wally. I don't care. All right, I support you. I don't like the way I don't.
He's one of us right now, so we gotta support.
Nah, yeah. I mean, he's not. You mean I don't hold you, Wally. God bless him. Like, sometimes he be saying some things on the air. I'm like, Wally, why the hell did you say that? Like, that don't even make no sense. Like, that didn't even just happen. But when it comes to the Halliburton smear campaign and hate, I'm with you, Wally. All right, I'm with you. Brunson all the way. I'm with you, Wally. Let's go.
Yo, speaking of Paul George, though, I saw that game last night against the OKC Thunder, and I'm like, yo. Sometimes when a couple players come out and say Paul George is the GOAT, I'm like, that game against OKC, I see why they say it. Like, that game against OKC, that man took over and he pretty much won the game for the Clippers down the stretch. The plays he made on both ends, I was like, damn.
This is why the Knicks were interested in Paul George in the summer. Yes. Paul George is another one, man. Like, he would fit seamlessly with this. It's just that he's like 137 years old and you don't know when he's going to stop playing. Like, like, he looks really good today, but it's like, man, he plays 30 games a year and you don't know if it's going to be the same next year. But, man, that would be like that perfect archetype player would be definitely Paul George, like, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, without a doubt.
He's having one of the most underrated seasons in the NBA, I think, too. I would say there's an argument that he is the first option and that with this current Clippers construction, that he is the best player and the number one option at this moment because he's playing unbelievable.
Yeah. Whew, the claw's still there too, but man,
yeah,
I'll take any of those guys for sure.
Yeah.
But yo, salute to the chat. Thank you guys for watching. I feel like I talked about everything I want to talk about. I don't know if you want to get into picks, bro picks. I know we have I mean, you haven't had the sound effects in a minute, so you know.
Yeah, I definitely got. Matter of fact, I got one ooh pick, and I have a few bros.
Okay.
Yeah, first I want to start off with my ooh pick because I feel like this was the play of the game pretty much. So there was a play when I think it was Sengun. He was going to the basket. Hardestein blocked him,
Yes.
passed the ball out for the fast
Oh,
break.
I'm finding it.
Julius Randle with a no-look pass to OG for the dunk.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm finding that right now. I'm sorry. I'm finding that.
To me, that was the play of the game right
That
there.
was play of the game. I couldn't even believe Randall made that. First, the block was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Then the pass. I can't even believe Randall made that pass the way he made that pass. Like it was like behind the back, no look to a cutting OG for the end one. What?
I was like, yo, that play was crazy. That play was crazy.
Nah, hold. I'm pulling this up. I'm pulling it up. I'm pulling this up for the people. I can't not. Oh yeah. Oh wait, that's just the block. I'm sorry, that's the wrong play.
Yeah.
That's the wrong. I'm sorry. I thought I found it. My bad.
Yeah, definitely play.
It's definitely this play. I'm sorry. All right, man. Let's go to the next one. Maybe I'll find it later.
And my other bro pick, I can't believe I forgot to say this bro pick on Monday. The Dallas Cowboys. Again. What can go wrong will go wrong. And Giants fans, don't be afraid to celebrate because at the end of the day, those dudes haven't seen a Super Bowl since 95. The Giants at least have won 2 Super Bowls this century against the quote-unquote GOAT quarterback, Tom Brady. So Giants fans, we suck this season, but do not be afraid to celebrate seeing the Cowboys stink it up once again in the playoff.
Bruh.
Let's go.
Always good for us.
And I have one more bro pick.
Yeah, one more bro pick. All right, and I found a highlight. But let's go.
My last bro pick goes to the other brother, Greek Freak's brother, Thanasis Antetokounmpo, because this guy. So there was a play where Donovan Mitchell drove the ball to the basket. He blocked Donovan Mitchell at the rim, and my man started flexing. There's only one issue. My man was flexing when the Bucks were down by 38.
Bruh. Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't understand that mindset of flexing while you're down 38 like you did something. Like that's embarrassing, man.
And that is why that man is buried at the end of the bench. And the only reason he's on the team is because Giannis is his brother.
Yeah, man. Bruh. Good picks, Ryan G. Now, let's get back. Play the game. Let's get it. Oh! The touch. That was nasty.
That's probably the best pass to see Julius Randle make in his whole career.
In his life. In his life. The touch pass spin around. Whoopty. Yeah, man. Keep OG happy. Happy. All right, man. I don't know if you have anything to bro about Lee.
I got a few. So first I'm gonna do my ooh picks. My first ooh pick, Tom Thibodeau. I complained on a show 2 games ago, especially the Dallas one, about the lack of dribble handoff and lack of backdoor cut plays. We're one of the worst in the NBA at instituting both of those actions on offense. And I saw some of the best plays tonight where backdoor cuts with Hartenstein finding people and dribble handoffs. Julius Randle's brilliant dribble handoff and then setting the pick to free up room for Jalen Brunson was Dante DiVincenzo, chef's kiss. So glad to see Tibbs doing a little off-ball action, getting guys moving on offense.
Okay. All right.
My
Love.
other, for sure, tips. My other oop pick, every now and then, I think being a Knicks fan, there are those moments that you see that bridge generations. For me, my relationship with the Knicks is so intertwined with my relationship with my father. And when I see those generations intertwined, it just warms my heart. And seeing Melo, my favorite Knick ever, with Randle after the game, giving each other love, hopefully linking up, but also their sons giving each other dap and like saying what's up to each other. That generational father son, it just like it gave me all the feels, man. I want to give my dad a hug. I love you, Pop, if you're watching. I love seeing the old Knicks and the new Knicks interacting, especially the father son love.
Yo, off topic though. Kanye Anthony to the Knicks. I don't know, man. What y'all thinking? Kanye Anthony to the Knicks?
Oh,
That jumper's looking high right now. I don't know if you're watching the development. That jumper from Kanye is looking high, man. I'll be scared. I would be scared, yo. I'd be scared to go on Twitter after Kanye has a bad game. I'd be scared. Huh?
I agree.
I'll be scared because I'll be mad. Like, don't do that. Don't be tearing down my man. Don't be tearing down Kanye Anthony because he had a bad game. Now you trade him. He's a bum. I can already pass like his fuck. I can already see some like,
right?
but I would enjoy him personally. I would just have to mute everybody else, except for like 4 people.
I gave the bruh pick first. I mean, I gave the ooh pick. Now it's time for my bruh pick. So
Yeah.
I bash on Democrats a lot on this show. I bash on Joe Biden because I think he's a bum. Bash on Bill Clinton. Today it's time to bash on the Republican Party. The Republican Party embarrassed themselves and made asses out of themselves for about 3 days straight. And let me tell you why. I don't know if anyone watched the Iowa caucus, but main man, Vivek Ramaswamy, a guy who's a lot of his general ideas about isolation, not getting involved in the rest of the world, I 100% agree with. I liked a lot of his ideas, but him saying that racism was a boogeyman that he did not believe in, and then walked into Iowa, an 88% white state, and my man got 7% of the vote. And people were saying, I don't know about that guy because I think he might have been affiliated with 9/11. I don't know about that guy because he's not the right shade of brown. It's like, my man, I think the boogeyman is real, and he might be hanging out in your campaign closet. I'm not sure, but I think he is. So shout out to him and 2 other bums, Nikki Haley, another minority who doesn't think that racism doesn't exist. She's an Indian lady who changed her name. And also to my man in high heels, Ron DeSantis, you crusty bum. I am so glad you are out of this race. I hope you go back to Florida and enjoy your time in that cesspool state. The Republican primary, they said that China was, getting into our electoral system and making elections open to fraud and corruption. And then I check out these people in Iowa voting with paper bags, milk cartons, and tickets. Sure, I'm sure China or any other Antifa doesn't have a way to be able to interfere with the elections when you're using paper tickets and a paper bag to count votes. Like, that sounds very secure. So once again, the Republican madness making a complete ass out of themselves, but it's not hard because it is who they are. Those are my bum picks.
Yeah, for those who think that racism doesn't exist, for those the kinfolk, not the skin folk, the kinfolk.
I saw me.
Go buckets.
Joke's on you. You're gonna find out soon enough.
The loss. I saw a meme that said Iowa voters took Vivek from 9/11 to 7/11, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Damn.
Wow.
Republican voters, man, hold that L for sure. Hey, Trump, he's on the Epstein list, 7-8 times to Epstein Island, like best friends with Epstein. Yeah, let's make the president of the United States. They have no shame, man. It's a back ass hypocritical party. And I hate the yes, I also hate. Doesn't mean I'm a Democrat. I'm not woke. I hate both political parties. That's the problem. There's only 2 options. Let's have more options.
Yeah, that is a problem. It's funny. I get into the debates. I vote Trump. Biden. And we're like, I don't like Trump. You like Biden? Get all of me out immediately. What, you a Biden? You like Biden? I was like, I don't like Biden either. I don't like none of them. They're both liars. They just lie in different ways. They just lie and manipulate differently, but they both are liars and manipulators.
It's like, do you want your racism systemic, or do you want it blatant out the open?
Yeah, exactly.
Pick your poison.
Yeah, and it was like, exactly. You'd be like, Trump's not racist. What do you mean? I was like, Dude took a photo out with Kanye West, and then Kanye tried to talk about our problems, and he said, "Nah, son, I got the photo. I'm out." like
Exactly.
he's using black people too. He's just using them differently. Like it's just a different method. Same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's basically either way you're voting for the devil. It's just a matter of which devil you choose.
Pretty
That's
much.
man. I think the Democrat Party takes advantage of black and brown voters, and I think the Republican Party takes advantage of evangelicals. It's everyone's just voting against their interests and the better good. So it's an absurd situation. But best country on earth, when we have two political options. That's it. So the greatest country on earth, but we can't come up with more than two parties.
Yeah, we just need the system is the big problem, but I don't even know how to solve that. But that's a whole other story. We got real deep out of nowhere on the KLT show, but we're but here. We're but here.
Okay.
We're over here. Of course, I have to wear my Malcolm X shirt today. I put Uncle Ruckus on screen. All right. Oh man. All right, that is our show though. Thank you guys for watching. All politicians lie. Yeah, Glamour. All politicians lie. All politicians. That is our show though. Thank you guys for watching and supporting the show. We here love everybody. All right, we here love everybody except racist. Yeah, just all right. Everybody else is cool with us. All right. But if you like the show, hit that like and subscribe button. We here after every game talking Knicks basketball, and I am back to talk Knicks basketball with you guys as well. And we will be back tomorrow. Who we playing tomorrow, guys? We playing the
Wizards.
Oh yeah, let's get that W. Let's get back on that streak. All right.
Facts.
Nothing cures a short losing streak like a good old winning streak versus a back-to-back versus the Wizards. So let's get it. All right. So we'll be back tomorrow talking about the Wizards. All right. So Lee, let them know where they can find you, sir.
I'm actually going to use this time to shout out another person that everyone should follow on the internet, Ariel DeJesus, my main man. He runs a Gold Store Retro show. He had me on for his first Knicks content show on his YouTube. He's a really intelligent guy.
Nice.
I love talking to my brother. He knows the history of ball, maybe better than anyone I've ever met, and I consider myself a historian of ball, and that guy knows more than I do about the history of a game. Shouts out to Ariel. He's a great dude. You can find him at Ari, A-R-I, Hoops, H-O-O-P-S. 84. He's a good dude and a brilliant basketball mind. Check that out. Book club time. Today, again, I don't have a book to show you because I've been busy writing, so I didn't get a chance to read one. But I did drop a link in the chat for my number one bruh pick, Mr. James Dolan. You thought we weren't going to talk about you, did you? Well, I didn't have a piece today about why I hope this is a straw that breaks a camel's back. And Dolan, at some point, when the evidence comes out and shows he's complicit, is forced to sell the team. I think all Knicks fans would be better off if Dolan wasn't the owner. And it's one thing we could probably all agree on is we wish he wasn't. So I'm going to drop my link to my story, which is the biggest story on their website right now and one of the biggest Dolan stories, period. I'm so blessed to have the opportunity to write about things that I care about. And I wrote a piece about why James Dolan is a scumbag and almost ruined my Knicks fandom. So I'm going to drop that in the chat. Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right. There you go, Lee. Yo, you know what's funny? On Twitter, I have a feeling I'm going to use this in the James Dolan sex Rico. But on Twitter, New York Basketball, he dropped a link, and James Dolan wrote a song about Weinstein. I'm pretty sure they're going to use this for evidence. It might actually help him because the lyrics are interesting. It was like, I didn't know my friend was going down the wrong way. He needed help. I'm paraphrasing the lyrics. I don't remember the lyrics before because what weirdo would memorize James Dolan?
You know what's funny, Jay? I cite that song in my piece.
Oh, you do? Okay, well, to read that, go to Lee's piece.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Did you do a leg breakdown?
I kind of went through genius mode and went through the lyrics.
Oh, wow. Okay, he did it all. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you have it. Read the lyrics to Lee's pieces. It might be interesting. All right, cool. I felt like I had a bruh pick, and I can't remember what it was. And I feel like as soon as the show ends, I'm going to remember. But Lee, let them know they can find you.
I'm on Twitter at _ Escobedo or search the hashtag bum, and you'll probably find me arguing with Nitziak or another Mavs fan.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Ryan G, let them know they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at RyanGKOT. You can also find me on Instagram at Sir G is chilling.
Sir G is chilling.
That's SIR. G is CHILLIN.
All right, yo, Ryan, I did see you do your own ad lib.
Yeah,
that was funny. All right.
Ryan did a great job. Very proud of him. Great job.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I gotta go back and watch. I got a lot of stuff going on, so it'll take me a minute to catch up with everything, but I'll get to it. And you already know you can find us at the KOT Show on Twitter, the Nick of Time Show on Instagram, and the Nick of Time Show on Facebook. All right, that is our show. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe. We are out of here. And as always,
shout out the Worldwide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
it's a mess out here in these Knicks YouTube streets. That's the show. We out of this.
Peace.